Alright, hey guys, welcome back to Gnomoria. We're on our 10th episode now, which is pretty awesome. And I brought you back because we've just received 3 nomads, which is not as many as I was hoping for. But luckily the smelter is not the biggest concern, so we're going to go ahead and assign these gnomes right away. See if they're good at anything. It's really good at wood cutting. It's kind of a shame to waste them. Alright. Nothing particularly special, so guy's decent at farming. What about this guy? I want to click on that. The other guy sucked at farming though, so this guy, he's a little better, but he's not as good at foraging, so make you a laborer. His construction's rather low. Is this guy any better? Yeah. And then the last guy, need a booze master, and luckily he's got brewing skills, so that all worked out. So now we should start seeing a lot more progress because we have more people to work with, finally. After losing 2 gnomes really stupidly. While you were gone, there was a goblin attack, but it was just 4 goblins. They weren't armed. I think they had 1 worn weapon, so they all died instantly. Nothing happened. So it wasn't worth bringing you back for that. And we'll set some clean floor orders for our brand new laborer to get him to work. Because we need to get all this crap sorted out. Do we have all the jewelry we need? I just made 1 sapphire ring. Hopefully he'll make more. So that kind of, unfortunately our kingdom worth is not bad too, so I was a little surprised to see it being such a poor turnout, really. That being said, luckily we're in pretty good shape. And our building projects are going to come along fairly good here. It looks like they're actually building the torches now. Well, they're at least going down into the mines. There's so much crap here to be hauled up. Oh, it's going to take forever. Just 1 gnome assigned to the job. So many strawberry seeds too, I definitely need to make more bags. Got our furniture started though, that's good. And they've actually almost finished our quarters up here, so we're going to wait for them to patch in the last few tiles, and then we're going to go ahead and start work on our ambassador quarters, which is going to be awesome. So that's kind of that's the main priority. We're going to work on that because we have our trading posts all ready to go. We got 4 of them, which is too many, but that's alright. Sorry, we make do with that. And then we also need to get our tin mine going, which is going to be basically waiting on our torches. Once those are in place, we're good to go. But we have a smelter hard at work now. Got lots of copper bars, which is awesome. Because they won't have to make any copper later on. It'll be great. And yeah, looks like the clean floor orders are getting done. We'll cancel that job because there's nothing there anymore. It's really important we have all the hauling taking place. Wonder why they're not interested in building that particular block. And it's summer right now, so I'd like to get all this in so we can start adding to our fields essentially. And then we're going to cut over this area, maybe in winter when our farmers aren't doing anything. But you can see our farmers have already kind of finished everything over there. So that's positive. You might be able to hear my cat in the background. Alright, come on, finish something. So again, we're just kind of waiting to get most of this polished up and get ourselves in good shape here. Should not take very long at all though. Alright. Yeah, they're starting to build this up now. As soon as they've kind of got a full grip on this area, it looks like one person's handling it. We'll take care of building in for our merchants. They're also finishing off this wall, which is excellent. I really want this done, so they're not leaving the fort for any reason, really. There's still like pine clippings and logs and crap out here that need to be harvested, but it's not overly... it's not... there's a fair amount of work outside, actually. Which is not ideal, because they're just going to randomly go out and do it all. But they have food, they have drink now, places to sleep. We have a lot of extra drinks, so that's actually really good for us. It should all be starred somewhere in here. Yeah, a little bit of wine. Cows are multiplying too, or yaks. We're at 7 out of 8, so soon those will be butchered for food on a consistent basis. I only want one field of yaks. They're not actually the most useful, but I like to keep them around, just for a little bit of variety. And then I'll have a couple of alpaca fields over here, which we can actually just go ahead and do now anyway. So we're going to start that while we wait. Want a gap of 2, 10 by 10. And this is going to be for alpacas. We just want max meal set to 2. Alpacas are a little more space efficient than yaks, so that's why I typically prefer them. They also give you, instead of giving you milk, they give you wool, which is a fiber used in bandages and that kind of stuff, so a little more useful than milk. Milk is not, you can make it into cheese and make cheese omelets and stuff, but I don't, it's not a very effective food source. Then we also need to get some troughs in here, so let's go ahead and do that. Just 2. We really only need 1, but if you build 1, it's not very symmetrical, and it drives me off the wall. So, and we'll have to go down to our stonemason and get those built. So we just need 4 of those, and we need them out of the blue rock, 'cause that's what we're making stuff out of so far. Eventually I'll change over and I'll just sell those to get rid of them, but I don't really want to. I guess like if I have basalt, I can make my fortress black, which you can even make it black and blue. It'd be kind of cool. Not ideal though. We'll have another grove here. This will be pine trees. Again, this will be another grove of birch, and then we'll have apple and orange, and then farm fields over here. And I don't mind overdoing the groves right now. And we'll just keep an eye on our wood supplies. Still plenty of birch. Granted, most of it's out here, but still have it. Looks like both of our military gnomes are sleeping. See, this is a bit of a problem with just 2 guys. But, well, I should mention as well that in the time we're gone, the blacksmith has finished the full armor, and they automatically go and pick it all up. So they've gone and picked up all their armor, so now they're protected from dismemberment a little bit. Copper armor is still pretty bad, but, I mean, what am I going to do with it, really? If I check my items, and I check my goods, metal, you know, I've got 124 copper ore and 15 bars, like, yeah, I'm gonna use it to make bronze armor, but for right now I don't really care. None of these jobs are done yet, which is unfortunate. Let's check our kingdom worth. It's going up a little bit. As we start to make bars and stuff like that, it goes up, so. And they're now building these, which is great. Try not to overload them. We just have 2 spots there. So once those get built, everything's going to be in fantastic shape. Almost to the point of canceling that, just to get the other stuff done. Because I don't need any of this done yet. I'm going to, actually. So we'll have this jaggedy rock area, because it doesn't really matter. I'd rather have the other jobs done, and then I'll redesignate that when I need it. And it actually doesn't need to be grassed over or anything like that, so we've got more important things to do. like these torches, because this could very well get us killed. Because we could have a bunch of zombies or something come up, which I'm not too fond of the idea of. What are those guys doing? What are they patching up? Why are they carrying clumps down here? What did I do? There's absolutely no reason for that. As well get the miners to do something, so mine that out and hopefully get a little more copper and coal. Oh, I know what they're doing. I was like, I saw them all coming through here, but they're going up there to build that, which, like, that's okay with me. I would prefer it if they built that, though. But we'll just keep an eye on this really quick, because we do need this to be finished so we can design the next floor properly. And it looks like I actually screwed up, so let's build, change it, lower a little bit, build in there. Almost tempted to pull the military off, but I really want them training. But you can pull them off if you really need a project done, like ASAP. And I have to fill this in because that just looks ugly, but won't be able to do that till we have more gnomes and we're not doing any big construction projects, which, being that it's Gnomoria, you'll probably always be doing something, but don't worry about that later. I just could not figure out why all the gnomes were doing that, but that's alright. We do need like a wheelbarrow and a pick stockpile. I might just put them here in the back. Because a lot of the mines are where all that stuff's going to be more necessary, so to speak. I don't think that guy has any birch logs in his supply here. Yeah, he doesn't, so it's unfortunate. The nice thing is we've got all our storage done though, so, and these crates take forever to make. Come on, boys. The farmers have work again, so that's why things are progressing a little slowly. They've got a lot of work to do, so I'll, rather than suspend them, I'll let them get to work. And you can see the herdsman is just putting straw and everything. So the nice thing about getting it pre-prepared is I don't have to wait for straw to go in these, and the straw doesn't go bad or anything. So she'll just fill both of those up, and that'll clean up a lot of my farm fields for me, which is good. Because otherwise wheat straw just gets stored on the ground in 16 by 16 piles. It's one of the weirdest storage options in this game anyway. As soon as this is finished, we can start up here, and then we'll probably invite the ambassador anyway. We'll do that early. I want to make my laborer only, or do hauling first, eventually, but we need to get these building projects out of the way, so they're a little less risky. And then we can have them go haul everything. Because this hauling one at a time crap isn't very efficient either. That's what's happening. But I'm not too worried about it, because it's making birch planks. I don't really care. I have enough of them right now. Actually, we only have 3. That's not good. Alright. Alright, so we're finished. We finally finished this upstairs area. Kind of. And we intentionally left this area blank because we're going to fill it in with stone. At some point we'll probably fill in the back area actually, so yeah, I think we will. Because I don't think birch is very fitting to be up against dirt. So what we're going to do is go terrain, replace floor, and we're just going to replace with dirt. And there's a couple reasons we're doing this. We want to gather up a little bit more birch, if we can, and this will help us do that. So, build wall, and we're gonna go to plank wall. We're gonna select birch, and we're gonna need to go by 7. This needs to be 6. be 6, just like that. And that's going to be our ambassadors, one of their rooms. Okay. No. Need to go 6 again. And whenever you add a build job on top of another build job, it gets rid of the old one. So we have to redo the replacements back there. Wood terrain wall, plank wall, birch planks, 2x2. Yeah, so we're already having a problem where we're running into a side piece there. So we're just gonna mine that out really quick, and we'll have to replace the walls there or the floors. But that's okay. And we're making it out of birch just because I think it looks nicer. Then we're going to have birch furniture and all that stuff in there, which we can actually just build now because it doesn't actually matter. The only thing is statues. You can't build over statues, so you have to be careful with that. But we can add the beds and all that in here. So let's do that. Build furniture, dresser. We're going to go with dresser there, one there. And cabinets. They don't really function, they just add value. And the cabinets are a little taller, so I like to put them next to the beds. I think it looks better. And then we'll put torches. We can put them on the inside of the room, or possibly the outside, doesn't really matter. And we'll wait to add the statues. Should be okay to go ahead and add them. No, we'll wait. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna wait. Wait till the walls are done at least, right? And our miner, they mine that out. There's some more copper there, but I don't care about that. I wonder what our miner's doing. Sleeping? Because they need to mine that. I actually need to mine that too, just for the sake of being able to build on it later. They need to mine, we have to mine like that, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the birch there, and then we're going to have block walls behind it, because the stone is a little more secure. Nobody's digging in, but it's just, I don't know, I just think it looks better, so that's what I'm going to do. What is our miner doing? Sleeping. Okay, I figured as much. So once our miner wakes up, he'll go fix all this. Our stonemason also mines, but they have work to do. They have to cut a bunch of stones right now, so we're busy doing that. And this area is still getting built slowly. But overall, I wish I got more gnomes than just the 3 to kind of speed up the process, but that's okay. What we're going to do now is actually we're going to invite the ambassador. So we're going to say host ambassador, and we're not going to host the second one right away because I don't have a bed for them and they'll get angry. They can live with kind of crappy room worth, but you do need to give them a bed. So, all right, door. And we haven't been building birch doors, so we'll have to get to work on that. Where is our woodsmith? Here we go. Wood door, need it out of birch, and we always need to have one of them in stock. Oh, okay, we did build the second bed. Alright, so we can go ahead and we're gonna host both ambassadors. So they take a few days to travel to your fort. Once they get there, they stay permanently in the rooms in the Great Hall, which actually reminds me to designate a Great Hall. Dining room, Great Hall. This is where idle gnomes go as well, so you can see if somebody doesn't have anything to do or whatever. Normally your Great Hall would not just be a pile of dirt in the middle of your fort, but we haven't had time to make one yet. We will get to it. More than likely we'll do the military hall first, because it's already half constructed. and we'll use that as a temporary Great Hall, and then we'll make a real Great Hall afterwards. But these rooms are coming together nicely. You don't want to designate the room until they come, because anything that's unbuilt won't count towards the worth. It actually just won't select the tile at all, so... But you just designate it as a personal quarters, and you're pretty much good to go. I'm gonna wait to replace floor, plank floor, there's planks. Just replace that. This birch is killing us though, we really need to... Let's hit clean floor. And we're gonna pull our soldiers off really quickly. And hopefully we don't get hit by goblins. And we're gonna go ahead and just change our soldier profession so hauling is their number one priority. So you can just, again, use your soldiers as really quick temporary labor if you need to. And they'll finish the one thing that they're doing right now, so they're just gonna harvest that cotton and then they'll go do some hauling for us. There we go. Please not, well, because I designated it as clean floor, it's gonna be one at a time, which sucks, but whatever. What are you gonna do? But it is much more, it's very important we get all this stuff hauled in. Alright, so the building projects are over, which means our laborer, well, until they get pieces for this, our laborer is going to go help haul. So with our soldiers and our laborer hauling, we should get most of this in really quickly. We're actually going to fell these trees too, because they're mature and they don't serve any purpose right now. Don't care about cutting the clippings. We'll eventually be able to get full yards anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But when you have forestry areas, it's important to cut the clippings so that you are able to replant the trees. But we're not going to be replanting these very fast, so... Goblin's been spotted. Ooh, that's nasty. Alright. Luckily we spotted it from down there with our fields, so we're going to choose to attack. And we're just going to put in our main military so they lead the charge, so to speak. That's a fairly well-armed goblin, though. That's bad. Unfortunately, our miner's the first guy out there. Where the hell is our... Okay, our military's coming. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. But I don't think it's not looking too good. Oh, goblins died. I just don't want to lose any gnomes or lose any arms or anything. Blood. Herdsman, goblin corpse. So we got through that without losing anybody. Alright, that's good. You can see the goblins are getting a little more threatening. They're still not super scary, and our copper-clad doors with a little bit of assistance from the other guys are able to handle them quite easily. Eventually they'll get a lot more nasty, and they'll bring ogres, and they can even come with steel and just all sorts of crazy stuff. So you do have to be careful. The goblins actually end up being very scary later on in the game. In the middle of the game, there's these things called mants, which come after your food stocks. They're reasonably scary, but they're scary when you first see them type deal, and then they get progressively less scary over time. That being said, if they do catch an unarmored gnome out, like, they will kill them really fast. But that also is the same for the goblins once they get strong. Alright. So, this is coming along. Kind of. Need to get those pine, or the birch planks. I've got 40 pine planks, so should never need to make any more of those for a while. I don't want to utilize them, but I think they're going to use for torches, which should all be built, almost. Just missing one torch, which is awesome. So once I get the trading area up, I can start going and mining out tin, which I'll do in the next episode. because it's more important right now that we get our merchants situated properly. They don't even have like a closed off room and stuff, so they might even just get mad and leave, which sucks, because then you have to rehost ambassadors and just makes your life kind of painful. So it's very important that we get this done in good time. Oh, looks like they're starting to build, which is awesome. They hold all that? No. Okay. Door. And any wood door will do. We'll build it there. Well, not any wood door. I want it to be birch, but I'm not making pine doors, so I don't have to worry about that. And doors have to be situated next to a wall, so that's why I had to wait to install that. I can actually start installing statues as well, so we're going to do that. We're only making lapis lazuli statues, so it's okay. Now, this isn't decorative in any way. This is purely to add worth. I don't really... It's just a bunch of statues, you know what I mean? Later on, when I have access to better materials, I can make things look better, but right now you just have to... I have to throw a bunch of crappy stone ones in there. Otherwise it won't work. So what's going to happen is they're going to grab that, and then this lady's going to make another one. Straight after. Do we have any more jewelry? Nope. Did I? Okay, I didn't set that to repeat. I'll worry about that later, because I actually don't want her making any more just yet. I want to get this finished, and then I'm going to send her to start making this stuff. Although, actually, let me set this up. So what I want to do is set gemmed ring, any cut gem, because I don't care, and I want them to use copper because it's the cheapest and it doesn't impact the overall cost, and then craft to, in my case, I want to craft to 20. So I always have 20 gemmed rings on hand. Now, all gemmed rings do is increase your kingdom worth, as well as they're really good for trading. But we're going to suspend it, so we don't actually do that just yet. So ideally, if you have a whole bunch of those rings, you'll wait till the first of the month when you get your nomads, and then trade after. But sometimes there's, you need to use the rings in a trade. So. But you do want to get rid of them after too, because they don't actually help your fort in any way. They just make the enemy stronger. So, and the number of nomads you get is based on your kingdom worth. That's why I keep checking it, as well as the strength of your enemies. So, the higher this number is, the better in most circumstances. Especially once you're kind of at a stage where everything's sealed off. And maybe when you have more military than what I have, which is basically nothing. I have 2 guys that have very crappy armor. Not ideal. Don't care about actually getting my, don't care at all really about getting this lady up and running, so, my tailor. You can see they placed the statue, which means this guy's gonna make another one. And she has to get the blocks from above, but I don't really care about that. I don't care about the overall efficiency of this just yet. Eventually they'll start storing stuff a little bit more intelligently. This stockpile should be for goods, crafts. Oh, it's only crafts. There's no stone storage there yet. That's okay though, because we store the stone up here for the mason. I don't want them mixing it around too much. I'd rather the mason have fast access. And maybe our artist can work on her hulling skill, get big and strong. Alright. As soon as we get a birch door on here, this room will well, it's not basically done, it'll be good enough though. And then this other room will be, it's gonna be crappy for a little while. But we really need to get all this birch in, guys. It's pretty important. So let's do that. Very slow hauling job right now. Is this pine I'm hauling? I don't want to haul pine at all. Oh no. No, it's birch, okay. There's some pine logs there. I was like, oh no! I'm hauling pine. That's no good. Alright, they're actually supplying our carpenter fairly well, so our carpenter doesn't have to travel like 6,000 years, although I think he's choosing to. That's on him, man. I gave you lots of opportunity to have close logs to use. You don't have to go a long way, sir. But that's why it's important not to have tons of crap lying all over the place, because you do end up screwing yourself by your gnomes just taking forever to do things. That's why having a laborer that's effective and fast is very important, and unfortunately we only have one laborer right now, and they're a little overwhelmed, even to the point where we're pulling our military to help them. Looks like they're getting the tiles in there. So once all these birch tiles are in, they'll get a birch door and then a few more pieces of birch furniture, and then we're golden. But it will take a little bit to do it all. And then we can start trading, and then when we can trade for things like, we'll probably actually trade for logs early on because they're cheap. And it's just a fast way to get a lot of them when you would rather not go out and strip mine like way outside of your base. It's not ideal for your gnome's health. As well as we'll be able to get copper relatively easily like that, and hopefully some tin, but we'll see. Yeah, they finished that off. That's great. So now we just need to fill the wall because we built the floor, plank wall, and birch planks, which we apparently have none. So we're getting there. And yeah, we've got another statue in now. I haven't added statues here yet, but I will do shortly. So again, like as soon as the statue's built, they'll go put it in. Yeah, we've got a birch wall, or another birch door. So we've just got that, a few more pieces of birch furniture, and that wall left to do, and we're good. And once that's finished, I'll pull my military back off their task. And let's just check on our mines. We're still missing one torch, but that's alright. And then I think in the next episode we're gonna set up a custom list of items so we can see what we have at all times. And I'll show you how to do that in the way I like to. It's, everybody's gonna have their own way, but I like to have the main building blocks I use. So like the main stone, obviously lapis lazuli I don't care about because I'm not going to build my fortress out of it, but I might care about how much basalt I have, right? If I need to mine more, if I was making it out of marble, I would care about that. But we kind of have to use what we have available to us easily. There's an ambassador already. Excellent. Well, okay. But we have a closed off room, so that's alright. So we're going to designate area, personal quarters, and we're going to designate this whole thing, and the areas that aren't built won't count. And then we just go, you click assign, we'll assign them, and then they'll go to their quarters. Now, well, they'll actually go to the Great Hall, quote unquote, the Great Hall. Not very great at all. But now I'll start getting merchants from them, which is awesome. So she's gonna hang out there, and we're just gonna click on her, and see, requires nothing at this time. So over time, their value or their needs will go up. So we actually don't need that many statues there. Furniture, statue. So we're gonna build them here because this is where our next ambassador is gonna go. And designate area, personal quarters, and we're just gonna add the areas that we canceled the statues in. So to add, again, you just click on an already existing tile, drag it over, and we've added to that. Now the next ambassador is here. Now this is a little bit of a problem because we don't really, her quarters suck, but hopefully she won't leave until we've after we've finished. Personal quarters. I'll add her. We'll add that whole area, and yeah. The subordinate prank, eh? I don't know if I trust these guys. So now we'll get merchants from 2 different kingdoms coming to our area, which is awesome, and we've already built up a bunch of trade goods for it. Once our artist has finished the statues we require to be built here, then we'll let our artist go to work, go to town on other stuff. Alright, so let's check you out. Room worth of 450. Okay. What's your room worth? 435. Alright. As soon as an item gets added here, we're good. What's this room worth? 872, yeah. Personal quarters, you notice we added another cabinet there, so we'll just add that in there. 992. So that's actually, these cabinets are, or sorry, the dresser's pretty good. Worth of 90. Don't have that cabinet there yet. 4-poster bed is worth 90. Is yours worth more? 54. Ah, you got a crap one. Sorry about that. This one's got like nails sticking off it, and it's just all around a pile of garbage. It's an area of personal quarters. Come on, there's a bear running by. Hopefully my guys don't go fight that. Alright, what's that worth? 525. Excellent. So now both of these guys are satisfied, which means they're not going to immediately leave. So we'll get merchants from them. So we're going to wait it out and see if we get some trading coming in. But overall, pretty happy. Once those two statues are built, I will... oh, they're clearly not going to get built if that's full, so let's clean that up, guys. And the way trading in this game works is you don't actually have to bring anything to the trade. You'll trade, it'll just get picked up and destroyed off your floor. You can take advantage of that. The traders will actually take all your crap as well. So if you have a lot of dirt and stuff like that you want to get rid of off the map, the merchant will take care of it for you. Here we go, so we've got a merchant. Excellent. And you can go as early as you want to get merchants. I like to wait a little bit to get them until I have my industries up and running. But we've got our first merchant, so let's go ahead and start trading with him. Now over here you'll see his stock, and then we'll see our stock here. And you can get rid of crap you don't want. So let's say I didn't want any of that dirt, I could just throw it away, and he would take it away from me. But for right now I do want it. As well as, I'm just going to grab all his logs and his copper ore, because I don't think it will have iron ore from me yet, and he does have alpacas. So got a male and a female alpaca, which will get our alpacas started up, and then we'll get rid of the crap we don't want. So, alright, so we only have 2 wheat, we don't need 360, we don't need that much strawberry seed actually, 600, we only have 1 field of strawberries. So we're just going to keep 100. So we'll get rid of 554. In terms of wheat seed, we're going to get rid of 200. We need to keep a little more than that. 212. That'll leave us with 150. Cotton seed is the same story, 369. So your seeds are a very good early trading source, as you can see. 214 pine clippings. We don't really need that. We're going to get rid of 100 of those. And the only reason I'm getting rid of 100 is just to clean up the ones outside my fort that I don't really want, because those are usually the first ones to go. Birch clippings, I'm going to get rid of like 38 of those. Wheat grain, I need to keep. And then yak milk, I don't want any of that ever, because I don't use it for anything. I don't need any more bones. So we can just go ahead and get rid of all the bones. 17 goblin skulls, so we've killed 17 goblins so far. Don't care about that. I need to keep the blocks. Obviously I'm keeping my copper bar. I'm going to keep my cut gems. And the statuettes, here we go. This is what we've been crafting. So we've actually got quite a bit extra. So what we're going to do is go up here, we're going to grab some marble. And just buy rock. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a basalt and marble look, so like black and white, kind of the chest style look to the fort. I find marble and bauxite goes really well together as well. Serpentine's kind of a green stone, so if you prefer that, you can grab some of that. But that looks pretty good. We'll take back some of these statuettes though, because I don't want to overpay too much. There we go. So unlike a game like Dwarf Fortress, you don't have to overpay the merchant. The prices are already basically adjusted a little bit for you. And then all the goods are going to be right in front of this merchant, and it's up to you to haul them away. But that's our first trade, and it's done and out of the way. So that's awesome. And we've got both of our ambassador quarters up and running. We have to add a little bit of block around there. But now that we've traded for some marble, let's go ahead and just add that to here. Craft to 40. Make that a higher priority. Same with the basalt, because these are going to be our construction blocks. And we're gonna go basalt, and we're gonna craft basalt to like 2,000, and we're gonna craft marble to the same. So when we go to build our fort, we'll have, you know, a big surplus of the raw materials required to do so. Hopefully we find some marble so we don't have to keep buying it, but it is entirely viable to build your fortress out of entirely purchased stuff. And the last thing we're going to do is redesignate this terrain to be built, because finally we can do this. There we go. Because we don't have anything more important to do. We've taken care of our very important needy early jobs. And we've got all the torches. So in the next episode we're going to be mining for tin. And we're also going to put our military back to training. And that guy's like, oh, alright, peace, I'm going to sleep. It's like, alright. That's a cool story. And we can cancel these hauling jobs because they'll get done automatically on their own now. It's not overly urgent that they get finished. It'd be nice if they hauled it, but it's not do or die. And we'll come back and fully designate their rooms later on. Ooh, another merchant. Why don't we talk to this guy and then we'll end the episode. So, each merchant stall doesn't attract a merchant. I just have 4 of them because eventually there'll be more ambassadors. But all right, this guy's got lots of marble, which we're gonna grab. I'm gonna grab the basalt too because I think we can afford it. And we're gonna grab all those logs. Don't care about the clippings. I want your copper. And you've got emus, which I don't want. Alright. So we'll just go down and find our trade goods. Hopefully our statuettes will cover it, because we've got a lot of them. Got some legendary ones in there. You can see the sapphire ring's worth 290. Alright, so we can't quite afford it. We know we can mine our basalt, so we'll just get rid of that. And look for some other crap. Well, it's not crap, but we want to get rid of it. We actually don't need... We're going to get rid of some garbage too. So that's just the early stone weapons we made for the purpose of training, which we don't need anymore. Why do I have extra training dummies? I don't need those. Wheat straw I do need to feed my animals. Do we have anything we really don't need? Alright, so we basically have to keep all this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of this in 10 chunks. Until we're even. Come on. Chunks of 10. I'm clicking the wrong button, that's why. Alright. Alright, so we're just getting a little bit of marble. I don't care too much about evening out the trade. Now we can go down and we can get this guy. We're going to unsuspend this, so we just have rings to trade now for the next set of merchants that come through. So we got a little bit more marble, we got some more logs, which are always good, and we got a lot more copper. So we're trading quite a bit for our metal. Now if you're really scared of mining, you can entirely trade for all your metal, basically. It's much slower to progress through the game if you do it that way, but it saves you from having to mine. And the caverns, like, we haven't really found much yet. I've avoided them. But later on in the game you'll find really big, deep caverns under the earth that are just brutal to patch up and explore and get around to mine and all that. Mining iron is quite a pain in the ass, so you can save yourself a little bit of trouble. So we've got plenty of yaks. Those are going to essentially breed for us later on. And we've got some alpacas now, which are going to give us wool, which is awesome. So things are from the tragedy, where things are really starting to shape up now. And we can probably start designing our military hall, which we're going to make out of stone furniture probably. Maybe make it out of marble. Even to the point of replacing the floors and stuff. Which will look silly to have like dirt and, but whatever. Gatehouse is probably the first thing we'll build up to make look good. But that does it. So this episode ran a little bit longer because I know the last one was a little bit too short. But it was better to make the last one short and this one long, so there's interesting things happening. because otherwise it would have been 15 minutes of you staring at the screen with nothing happening and me alt-tabbed reading Reddit, because that's exactly what I did while I waited for some of the construction and nomads to come in. And I will bring you guys back for the next episode shortly when something interesting happens. So hopefully we've got this area built out. And if I do get attacked, I'll bring you back for that for sure. And I will see you guys shortly.